Hello everybody and welcome back to the current week something or another. I want to say it's 12, but it's probably 13, but it might be 11, but I'm thinking it's 12, so we're going to go with 12. Welcome to the current week 12. Guys, this week we got some cool stuff for you. We got a very entertaining interview with Richie, Harry O'Connell, who you've never seen before, and Ryan Cole, who you guys have seen before. They're going to be talking about Guns N' Roses. They're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff, bunch of classic rock kind of related stuff. It's a really good time. I enjoyed being there filming it. I enjoyed editing it. And yeah, so we're going to have that this week. I'm going to be talking about music. It's basically a music week. This week is a lot of music. There's not going to be any Cailyn because prom is today. And I'm also going to be talking about prom stuff after I talk about music. So let's just jump right into Richie and the classic rock.
Current. This is the new artwork for the channel. Just kidding, it's not. But anyways, today we're here with a new friend and an old friend, Mr. Harry O'Connell, also known as the Sheriff, and got Mr. Ryan Cole back again. Talking a little bit about the rock world. A lot of news has been happening in the old rock world, most notably Guns N' Roses reunion at Coachella Music Festival. They performed 2 shows in, over 2 weekends, and we'll start off with this. We're not going to reveal it. We'll kind of lead up to the whole big reveal. But Harry, as a new guest, why don't we start with you? Well, what are kind of your reactions about seeing Guns N' Roses, 3/5 of the original lineup, coming back and playing again together?
You know, I'm excited for it, but I'm not totally thrilled about them not having the entire act pulled back together. I'd like to see that, because I know they got a couple new guys that I don't really know a whole lot about.
Right.
And that kind of bothers me as a Guns N' Roses original fan. I'd like to see the original lineup all pulled back together.
Right, and do you think that this reunion was spawned on for money purposes, or do you think it was just enough's enough, put our differences aside? What do you think?
You know, I think knowing what I do know about Slash, he's a very genuine guy, and I think that this was not all about money and everything. I think it was about enough's enough. Let's put this aside and let's get a great tour going.
Good. That's what you want to hear. That's like the right answer. Ryan Cole. What are you doing over there, person?
Well, this is for a later segment. Don't you worry about that. Right?
Okay. I know you're not a huge. Why don't you scoot in? Get a little further. I know you're not a. You can scooch over a little bit now. All right. I know you're not a huge, hard rock fan, but I know you can respect a talented band such as Guns N' Roses.
I grew up on Guns N' Roses. I was pretty stoked last year when the mumblings of the little murmurs of the reunion were afoot. And then of course there was the one show in Soldier Field that was sold out so fast. I was pretty upset, and I think I'm not going to be able to go or not. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I haven't yet seen videos. I've heard some bootleg audio of their initial concerts, those little underground shows they did before the official tour started. I've been meaning to look up the videos of Coachella, though. What have you heard about the actual performance-wise?
Coachella, I heard it was, I heard the diehard Guns N' Roses fans clearly loved it. And like any aging rock band, you're going to get a little bit of criticism from everywhere, because obviously they haven't performed together in 20 years. They've aged, everything like that. If you haven't seen, and we'll have our editor and producer put up a photo of this so you guys could kind of see. Axl Rose, lead singer of Guns N' Roses, broke his leg, and he's sitting in this big gooby throne with his foot up, just singing songs out there. And it was actually given to him by Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters, kind of like a little exchange thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Axl's he's not the slimmest guy these days anymore.
Hey, at least they're not Motley Crue.
But anyways, so back to the news of rock. So we got AC/DC. All of a sudden, about 10 shows left in the tour. All of a sudden, Brian Johnson can't even hear anymore. This dude's like, he's pushing 70. Like, he's the oldest member of the band. He was the original replacement for original singer Bon Scott. And Cole, what are you doing, you goof?
I'll get to adjust them now. Don't you worry.
So he had to leave the band unexpectedly due to hearing issues. Now, I'm thinking that there's some more underlying factors. You don't just dismiss your lead singer of 30 years because he's got some hearing issues. You can make do with that. I know Pete Townsend from the Who has detrimental hearing issues, and they still find ways to make it work. He has I think he has noise walls around him when he performs or something like that. Harry, do you think that there's something else going around that AC/DC might not be telling us?
What I think is, I think that they're afraid to tell us that Brian is secretly nursing Malcolm Young. I don't think that they could find a caretaker.
No, don't get carried away. I mean, we saw Dennis DeYoung, the front of the Sticks. He stopped touring because he said the lights hurt his eyes. You know, so and they said, why don't you just wear sunglasses? And he said, shut up and Dennis DeYoung. So, you know, I think there's some solid medical reasoning behind this. So I think that the dreaded Zika virus is really the cause of this.
Yeah, hold on. Let me think.
I think Zika could be the cause of AC/DC kind of falling apart here.
You know what? I'm not gonna rule it out.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, so they're looking for this new lead singer of the band, and guess who they sign on? Axl Rose. Now this is crazy. Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, kind of a mashup. And Angus Young actually came to Coachella with Guns N' Roses and played a few songs. Did you happen to see that video, Harry?
Yeah, I did.
And you know, Angus, he's got to be like, what, 65?
Yeah.
Still wearing that goofy schoolboy outfit. He wears like the blue vest with the short shorts, like dancing on stage. You think it's kind of part of his persona these days, or do you think he's ever gonna just ditch it and say, "Hey, I'm 60 years old. I'm no longer a schoolboy"?
You know, I think Angus Young in that schoolboy uniform can kind of bring a lot of people back to when they were a kid. And I don't think he'll ever ditch the outfit. I think he'll be buried in that outfit, honestly.
I thought it was a really cool mashup, seeing AC/DC and Guns N' Roses come together. But another thing, I just think, you know, if you're familiar with AC/DC, if you're not, I would recommend, off the top of my head, album Fly on the Wall.
Fly on the Wall.
Or Flick of the Switch.
See, actually,
Two of the most outstanding albums.
What I prepared here actually is this is a timeline, so to say, of AC/DC's discography. And here you have the initial beginnings of studios. So this is their first, the rise to fame. Number one is Dirty Deeds. You see this little downfall. Dirty Deeds was just a subpar album at best.
What?
They go through and now they really drop down here. They see a little rise of fame with the Highway to Hell and 3 with Back in Black. With the new singers, it got okay. It's they never returned back to their former glory. But then they just see this downfall until they really get to number 4, and that's Fly on the Wall. I mean the album is
superior to most rock albums you've ever heard.
I mean it's so.
What's your favorite track on the album?
I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you what my favorite track on the album is.
They're
so good.
They're all so good.
My album.
Probably the title track for me, Fly on the Wall.
Favorite off of that album would probably have to be Boris the Spider.
It's actually on there. It's from the Who. And so then you see, they go back down again until number 5. Razor's Edge was up there a bit. And then they just had this massive drop again with their albums. I mean, they just got so bad for the next few albums until there's, of course, again, Sun Spike. Almost just as equal as Fly on the Wall was Black Ice. So, I mean, that's
my favorite album.
That's where we're at with AC/DC's discography.
Right. And, anywho, getting back to what I was saying, like, just check out Fly on the Wall. Fantastic, phenomenal album. I'd recommend everyone.
And actually, it's very great.
Anyone talking about it, so, alright, so Cole, since I've kind of interviewed Harry a lot, if you could see one band reunite that's still around today, that hasn't all died off yet, who would it be?
Well, I just missed, the Who was here in Chicago. I had really good seats, but I had some other things to attend to, and so I had to miss the shows.
Why'd you have to miss the show?
The band went on a trip down to Nashville, and
the
it was pretty cool. Yeah, the Ville. We were in the Ville for a while. It wasn't a bad trip, but I still like to. They really postponed the show. Roger Daltrey's been having a lot of voice concerns, so the show was supposed to be back in November, and they postponed it to March. And I'm like, wow, are they gonna live that long? It was a very big concern of mine. So they're definitely up there. We got seeing them. I think Nitro, if you've heard of them.
Nitro is unbelievable.
They were this close. There's a small...
Do me a favor, all the viewers look up this Nitro Solo by Michelangelo Badio. We might put a little clip in there.
Freight Train is probably one of the best rock songs, and it's so underappreciated in its musicality. I mean, even just the bass line itself is fantastic. The drumming is just fantastic. And they're from Chicago. Michelangelo Badio, one of the best guitarists alive. We could see them unite.
He plays a quad, so he's.
If we could see them united, it'd be miles for rock history.
Harry, now I'm gonna ask you a slightly different question. If you were to go back in time and see one band playing its heyday, who would it be?
I think it would have to be Geddy Lee. Geddy Lee solo.
Well, I mean, as far as solo albums go, do you want to really put him above either Don Henley or Randy Meisner, the bassist of Eagles?
You know what? I'm gonna change my answer. I would go and see Randy Meisner live in 1982 when he released his solo album, because I believe that album was almost the peak of music. I can consider Randy Meisner to be the greatest musician of all time in that time period.
To give you some context, Randy Meisner was the original bassist of the Eagles. He wrote one of their he wrote one of their hit songs, "Take It to the Limit." And after
Can you give me like a vocal demonstration of that song?
Take it to the limit, please. So you probably heard it. I mean, it's one of their top songs.
Absolutely unreal.
He eventually left the band soon after. They went on to show some more considerable fame without him. With what was the bassist's name? Timothy B. Schmidt, the bassist of another band, came and stepped in for them. But lately, he's been having a lot of medical problems. His wife actually dropped a gun and shot herself.
Okay, guys, so I didn't even know that Geddy Lee had a solo album or any of that. I'm not a big rock guy, but I learned a lot about rock and about what was terrible, because all of that was lies, and Ryan drew a wonderful graph. So obviously they did their research and showed a lot of information that was definitely relevant and accurate. And they never make stuff up on this show. Everything that we have is thoroughly researched, and definitely it's a source right from the government. So we definitely have all the most current and most accurate information on this show. So now, guys, right now I'm going to be talking about something music related. If you guys remember, a couple weeks ago I talked about 5 bands that you might not know, that you might not have heard of. And we're going to be talking now about my top 5 Pandora stations. Guys, if you guys don't use Pandora, Pandora is like a radio. It's like, basically you say, I want to listen to this band, and it plays like almost like a radio station, just random songs that are like that band. So it's a really cool thing if you're looking for new music. I've mentioned it before on the show, but today we're going to be talking about my 5 favorite Pandora stations. We're going to start off number 1 with something that's a little bit different. You guys might be kind of like weirded, like not weirded out, but like you might not understand. It's 60s oldies, I believe it's called. And it's kind of one of those stations that I don't listen to a whole lot, but I listen to it for like a week at a time, and it's just that straight. And it's a really fun station. You get all like the songs that you're going to know. You're going to hear a lot of really cool jazz songs, stuff like that. I really like it in the morning when I'm coming to school and I'm not really ready for like some kind of pump up stuff. So it's a really good station. I really like it. You get a lot of good music out of it, a lot of fun oldies. You get that fun kind of old sound to it too. So it's always fun. That's a good one. I listen to that a lot during finals week. My second, or number 4, these are not in ranked order, by the way. These are just 5 stations. If I had to rank them, I wouldn't be able to rank them, guys. I think they're all amazing. But number 4, guys, you guys have heard of this band before. It's Cat Empire. Guys, the Cat Empire radio is like the most diverse radio station on there that I've ever heard. I've put it on and I've heard like a country song, go to a Cat Empire song, go to a jazz song, like a big band jazz song, like trumpets, trombones, horns, all that, and then go to like the Black Keys, which is kind of almost more like an alternative rock. Like, it is such a diverse Pandora station that I love it. It's good for all times, and Cat Empire music in general is good for all types of music and everything in general. So that station is just amazing. I love that one. Now we're going to go down to number 3. Station number 3, guys, is going to be Funk Jazz. I've told you guys before that I'm a big jazz person. I really like jazz music. And the Funk Jazz station on Pandora is really fun stuff. A lot of it, some of it doesn't have words, some of it does have words, but it's really funky, really kind of cool beats, really cool rhythms and stuff like that. So it's a really fun station. You get a lot of songs that you're probably not going to like know or you've never heard before. But it's really, really cool stuff, really crazy, kind of whacked out jazz. Number 2, station number 2 is 21 Pilots Radio. I've talked about 21 Pilots so many times before on this show, and the Pandora station is amazing as well. You're going to get 21 Pilots, you're going to get The Weeknd, you're going to get like Vampire Weekend, you're going to get the 1975, you're going to get so much of this like pop alternative music, and it's really good. It's almost like listening to like one of those radio stations, like, I know, like 103.5 or B96 or something like that. Listen to one of those where you get like all the current modern songs. It's almost like you're listening to that, but you're more tailored to the 21 Pilots kind of similar genre. So it's a really, really good station if you like that kind of music. And my number 1, my final station that I really love to listen to, is the Comedy Music Station. Now, this is so much different than everything else because it's not like actual songs, it's comedy. But you get a lot of this stuff. If you guys listen to Bo Burnham, or if you ever listen to Stephen Lynch, is another one on there. They're really, really funny guys, and some of these songs I even go and download. Da Vinci's Notebook, Bo Burnham, Tenacious D, Stephen Lynch. They're all really, really funny guys. It's definitely not a clean station. Definitely a lot of kind of really messed up songs on there, but it's a ton of fun. A lot of fun to listen to. Car rides, road trips, stuff like that. It's hilarious. Like I said, some of those songs I download on my phone just because they're that funny. So yeah, those are my 5 stations, guys. 60s, Cat Empire, 21 Pilots, funk jazz, and musical comedy. If you guys check those out, put them down below. Tell me what your favorite one is, or if you actually did do any of them. Because, I mean, if you listen to any of them, that's cool. I know I talked to a couple people that started listening to Cat Empire because of our last episode, and I think that's really cool that I put people on other music. So I hope that you guys enjoy this when I talk about kind of new music, underground music. So yeah, let's get into Prom now. Okay, guys, so Prom is coming up today. It's tonight, actually. And I just want to say out there, I know you're going to hear all the normal stuff. You're going to hear the don't drink and drive, don't do drugs, don't do all this stuff. I'm not going to sit here and repeat it all. I'm not going to be blind to the fact everyone's going to, not everyone, but there are a lot of people that out there that are going to drink. But I am going to tell you guys, please do not drive home if you're going to. Stay at a friend's house, have a friend DD, whatever you need to do, do that. But just have a good time, be safe, guys. I just want to throw that out there because it is Prom. And I just hope you guys all enjoy your weekend. This isn't really a long skit or segment or story or whatever. I just wanted to reinforce that for you and just make sure you guys just stay safe. I don't want to see anything bad happen this weekend. Thank you guys. Have a good time. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week.